Everyone has the right to make art. Art is for everyone and it comes from anyone. I'm Mousa Alnana. I'm a Syrian artist based in Glasgow, Scotland, and a painter, graphic designer, and a tattoo artist. I grew up in Homs, Syria. My childhood was good, but I always felt that I'm different, and I always loved art. My mom was a seamstress, and I was always fascinated by the process, and I remember designing clothes for her to make. I went to Damascus University to study fine arts. Fine arts is a big umbrella that holds a lot of art methods within it. Like until today, I go back to what I have learned studying fine art in my process today. Right now, I'm working on the floor of my own flat. This place is my living room and my dining room and my studio. Yeah, welcome to my casa. I really hate to paint when people are looking at me. Like when you paint, it's a very vulnerable thing to do. It's like praying, it's very personal, at least for me. Right now I'm working on this piece. It's divided into 100 square and it will have a 100 portrait. It represents people who struggled and sought asylum just because of who they are. All those paintings that you can see, they are a part of a project that I'm working on and called Unorthodox Heretics. I'm talking specifically about the queer people in the Middle East and how they are casted as heretics. Even now in the West, they take the queer rights for granted and celebrated, but there is thousands, if not millions, of people that are still struggling and they still need to find their rights.
Good evening. The turmoil in the Middle East has spread to Syria, which has seen unprecedented challenges to the 10-year rule of President al-Assad.
Reports from Syria say that 26 people have been killed today, adding to an escalating death toll from 8 months of anti-government protests.
In Syria, we have a military service, and I had to go and eventually fight in a war that isn't mine. So the reason I left Syria is because of that. It was a matter of basically surviving.
We are looking at masses of civilians who are being either killed, detained, tortured.
I left 2012. I went to Cairo, to Egypt. That jump, it was very rushed, it was very necessary, and it was very, very difficult for me. My parents and my family were in Homs, and I couldn't actually travel to see them. I had to say goodbye over the phone, and it was a very difficult move.
Aleppo produces no winners, only refugees.
I didn't know Glasgow, to be honest. I knew that I'm coming to Glasgow just 14 days before the actual flight to come to Scotland. And so I went to Google and I was Googling Glasgow basically, and I came across the accent and I was very surprised of it. I was a little bit scared that I won't be able to understand people. I do consider Glasgow home now, and because it's such a welcoming place. Yeah, I just love it. It's not the perfect place. Nowhere is perfect, but it suits me very well. So I feel like Glasgow is perfect for me. With the situation now with the migration rights and the political situation in the UK and in the world in general, I don't feel very secure still, which is something that I've been looking most of my life. I think people take security and stability for granted. That's all what they know. I'm happy that I'm here, that I found a place that accepts me the way I am. I can be who I want to be, and that's great. But I genuinely wish that it's gonna last forever. Museum of Things is an initiative, a project that has been started by Mary Hill Integration Network, and they invited me and another artist to plan and facilitate the art workshops. They came to us with an idea that they want to do an art project for people from migration background and asylum seekers and refugees who are stuck in the lockdown. Yeah. You're good?
يا معلم.
You're good, يا معلمة? Kedest, do you want to say, hey, yo? So that's the calling for people to calm down. Today we're gonna work on design for Christmas cards. I remember looking at the word fun in the brief, and I was like, that is such an important way to approach it. That was the main aim for us and for me personally, to work with people without pointing out at their traumas. And that by itself is a great help and a great way for people from a migration background to connect and feel that they belong in their new community.
Seriously, I come here for the group first. Most of us is refugee, and in the past as well asylum seeker, some of us. So we share the same circumstances.
When I get here, I don't know anyone. That's very hard time for me. I get here, and now I'm very happy. I see new people, I see new friends. That's good for me.
I live in Glasgow from 13 years, and I'm still asylum seeker. So I have too much stress and anxiety. Every Saturday, weekly, join this team, so I feel better.
I was very happy to be part of a project that not just helped people from migration background be part of the new community, but also to show them and show people what art can do and make art more approachable, more available, and less intimidating. Yes, Glasgow is home, and Scotland is home. I moved to Scotland in 14th of February 2019, so that was Valentine's Day. So now that day is actually my anniversary with Scotland. Every year I try to do something like happy and or have a drink. Absolutely, it's a love story for sure.